Good morning. I hope everything is going well with your virtual learning. Today I'm actually going to fit in two lessons. We're going to start with Chapter 6, Lesson 4, and then we are going to continue with Lesson 5 after this. This is just showing you different ways to multiply decimals. First, we're going to start using a model or our base 10 block. So let's look at our first one. Please follow along on your textbook pages with the lesson. So it says find 3/10 times 7/10 using a decimal model. If you look to our right, we have our base 10 block, and we are going to shade it in to figure out our equation and the answer to our problem. So first we are multiplying 3/10. So what we're going to do is we are going to color in 3 of our blocks, which gives us 3/10. And we are going to do 7. So we're going to do 3 up and down, and 7 side to side. So Mrs. Bliley is actually going to use this because sometimes it's hard for you to see when I color them in. So this is going to give us 3 tenths times 7 tenths. So I hope you can see that in the shaded in blocks that are pink. Then we are going to multiply. So if we just look at this, we can multiply because we know our multiplication facts. We have 3/10 times 7/10. 3 times 7 is 21, 21/100ths. And then we count how many spaces there are to the right of our decimal. So we have 1 and 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. The end of my number, I'm going to move 2 spots. 1, 2. My decimal is going to be in front of my 21/100ths is my answer for the first one. Okay, let's move on to our second problem. We have 4/10 times 2 and 4/10, and we're going to use a decimal model again to represent that. So we have our base 10 blocks. We are going to shade in 4/10 by 2 and 4/10. As you can see in this model, we have multiple base 10 blocks to help us find out this problem. So we are going to, it is going to be 2.4 wide and 4/10 long. So if we look at this and we count every single individual square, or we put it in a model that we can see and combined it into one base 10 block, it is actually 96/100ths. So if we counted every single square up here, it would be 96/100ths. Then we have 96/100ths as our answer. We need to figure out where our decimal goes. Remember from yesterday's lesson that we were going to look at where your decimal is in each number, and you're going to move it how many spaces until the last number or to your right. So we have 1 and 1. So 1 plus 1 gives me 2. I'm going to start at my last number of my answer and move 2 spaces, 1, 2, and place my decimal. So my answer, 4/10 times 2 decimal 4/10 gives me 96/100ths. Okay, Mrs. Bliley wants to do a few more problems with you, and then we will go without using the base 10 blocks. We have 4/10 times 8/10. We are going to shade. Mrs. Bliley is actually going to try to shade this time. Okay, so we're going to do 4 by 8. So we can count them, or we can just do the multiplication in our head. What is 4 times 8? 4 times 8 is 32. Now I need to figure out where my decimal goes. I'm going to look at both numbers and see how many times it takes me to get to the right of my number. So 1 and 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. I'm going to move my decimal 2 spaces to the left. So my answer is 32/100ths. Let's look at number 7. I have 5/10 times 6/10. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 up and down and 6 across. I can count each one, or I can do simple math in my head because I know my multiplication facts. I can do 5, whoops. I can do 5 times 6, 5 times 6. You can count by 5, 6 times, or if you know it, that's fantastic, is 30. Then I'm going to figure out, where does my decimal go? I look at my problem I started out with, I move it one time to the right and another time to the right. So I'm going to then go to my last number in my answer and move 2 spaces to the left. It's kind of the opposite. Okay, I would like you to do practice problems 8, 9, 10, and 11. Just 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now, Mrs. Wiley is going to teach you lesson 5. So give me 1 second. Please remember, if you have any questions or you're not sure or you would like me to teach the lesson live, to go to our Google Meet on this math page, and I can meet with you from 11:30 to 12:30 every school day. So Tuesday through Thursday. Here's some review. So our lesson. So we are on lesson 5 now. We're combining these lessons because this just gives us different ways to multiply decimals. So you do the way that works best for you. Let's look at example 1. It says Nina is buying peanuts in bulk. The peanuts cost 75 cents for each pound. She purchases 2.1 pounds of peanuts. How much will Nina pay? Round to the nearest cent. Okay, so we need to find how much 75 cents is times 2.1 pounds. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to estimate to give us a reasonable answer when we are checking our answer at the end. So 75 cents is closest to 0 cents or $1. $1, right? So we have $1 and 2.1 is closer to 2 or 3. It's closest to 2. Or $2. So our first step we're going to do is we are going to multiply with whole numbers. So if you can look, or if you can see in your textbook or on our screen, this case, now before we've only been doing multiplying by tenths. Now we're adding in hundredths. So this kind of changes the game a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to line up your numbers. So we see how the decimals are not lined up. That is okay with multiplication and division. With subtraction and addition, like we've learned previously, not okay. So when you're doing multiplication, you're going to line up your last number with your last number, and you're not lining it up by the decimals. So that's just clarification. We'll talk about the decimals at the very end, but first we're going to multiply. So this is a review from last year. You're very aware of how to multiply multiple digit numbers together. We're going to do it together, and then we're going to add in our decimals at the end. So first we're going to do 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 0 is 0. You can put a 0 or you don't have to put anything. Now remember, when we are multiplying multiple digit numbers, and we switch, so we multiplied the first number, we're done, and before moving on to the second number, we always put that imaginary or magic 0. Now we can multiply our second digit number. So 2 times 5 is 10. Put my 0, carry my 1. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 plus 1 is 15. I put my 5 down and I carry my 1. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 more is 1, and now I'm going to add. 5 plus 0 is 5. 7 plus 6 is 13. Put my 3, carry my 1. 1 plus 5 is 6, and I bring down my 1. Now, this is our final step. Before we find our answer, we are going to add in our decimal. So we're going to look back at the equation that was given to us, and we are going to count. We're going to find the decimal, and we're going to count how many times it takes us to get to the end of our number. So I have 1, 2 decimal places. I'm going to do the same with my second number. 1 decimal place. So I'm going to go to the end of my answer, and I'm going to move it 3 spots because 2 plus 1 is 3. 1, 2, 3. And this is where my decimal goes. Now, if that seems tricky, we're going to try a few more practice problems and hopefully it will be a little bit more clear. But you've been used to moving decimals, so this is just an extra step added on. Mrs. Wiley's going to clear this page and try to delete this because, as you know, Mrs. Wiley always forgets to do that when I move to the next slide. Okay, so we're just going to look at this and we're going to round as our last thing. Remember, we always check for reasonableness. Our answer is 1.8, or excuse me, 1.51 decimal 58 hundredths, and that is very close to our answer of $2, what we estimated at the beginning. So this is reasonable and our answer does check. So Nina needs to pay $1.58. Let's try our second example. It says DeMarcus is buying a new guitar pick that costs 50 cents. The sales tax is found by multiplying the cost of the guitar pick by 6/100. What is the cost of the sales tax for the pick? Okay, so we need to estimate. This helps us show how much, or at the end, if our answer is reasonable. So we have 50 cents is closer to $1 and 6 cents is closer to 0. 1 times 0 is $0. We need to see if our answer is similar to $0. Then we're going to multiply our whole numbers. So we're going to set this up by our last number, not by the decimals. Okay, let's get started. We have 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 5 is 30. I'm going to put my 0 carrying my 3. 6 times 0 is 3. Or excuse me, 6 times 0 is 0 plus 3 is 3. And then they kind of took a shortcut in this example, but what they did is they did 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0. So they just put a 0 instead of adding them all up like we've done previously. Okay, so we're going to count. We're going to go to our decimals. So for that, they kind of took the easy route out. If you would like to do it all the way, that's also fine. We're going to find our decimal and count how many times it goes until we don't have any more numbers. 1, 2. And we're going to do it for the second number. 1, 2. So I will be moving 4 places because 2 plus 2 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My answer is 300 hundredths. We can say that we can take off those zeros. Oops, excuse me. There we go. Let Mrs. Wiley rewrite that. Sorry. Our answer, 50 cents times 6 tenths is 300. So the sale tax is about 3 cents on a guitar pick. The product was 300. And 300 is very similar to our estimate of $0 because 3 cents is closer to 0 than 1. Okay, so I'm going to try some examples with you, but I actually have to end this video because I'm out of time. So check back for the second video. We'll do some guided practice. I'll give you your assignment, and I hope you have a fabulous Friday.